Ethnic Notions is about how African Americans have been depicted in the media for the past few centuries. Known as Sambo, Coon, Pickaninny, and Uncle Tom, these are versions of how black people were seen in a white man's world. As time progressed, the image of the black man, or average black person, became distorted by the white man's image of them. One of the first depictions of African Americans was known as the Sambo, a lazy, docile old man. The image was made by the rest of the U.S. to show that without slavery, the black man would become lazy and useless to society, that slavery was beneficial to all who were a part of it. Even in today's society and television, father figures are known similar to Sambos because they are not around, lazy, not helpful at all. Even in forms of entertainment, white men would put on blackface and mimic them. The concept of Jim Crow was originally a dance, created by black people as a result of dancing, which was considered crossing your feet in a church, being outlawed. T.D. Rice, a white man who performed in blackface, saw a black man doing the Jim Crow dance and took it to the main stage. His performance became a devastating image for what a black man was. As these kind of performances grew popular, a group of white men came together and created a minstrel, which were originally performances with costumes, but during this time the costumes began to mimic one's blackness. They are performed as a singing Sambo, which became an argument in the politics of slavery. The minstrels showed other white people that slaves were content on the plantation, happy working for their masters, and were actually grateful for being slaves. That if they were freed, they wouldn't be able to adapt to the world, which created the idea of Zip Coons, where instead of the Sambo, which was known as lazy and docile, the Zip Coon, or now known as Coon, would not be able to adapt to a white man's society, where they try and learn and read and write. They were mostly known on stage with stuttering and in fancier clothing, but still couldn't adapt to that form of society. As black people began to make their way into the world of cinema, they had to conform to using blackface, because that was the only image of black people that white people were actually used to seeing. They didn't care about black people's skill sets. Even black children weren't safe from the media's image. They became known as pickaninnies. Children with unpicked hair, subhuman and dirty. Most images were shown of a pickaninny being chased by a crocodile. I believe that these problems could be solved by acknowledging the past and its forms of racism, and also remove all forms of negative depictions in the media, and acknowledge that these images were wrong and rude towards African Americans.